Jineea Butler, and I am so glad you are joining me today. I have missed you for the past couple of days. Did you tune in on Sunday when we debuted our On the Group? I think it went very well, but I need to hear from you. How did we do? We were on the group here on Millennium News 24, and now we're talking about the new American perspective. So we've got so much to talk about today, but let's just jump right in. We got 50 Cents, The Reckoning, okay? The Reckoning, The Reckoning, The Reckoning. Now, what's been happening? Have you tuned into Netflix? Because right now, Netflix is airing The Reckoning, okay? And it's an explosive new series. I think people are talking about 4 episodes, and the political corruption, the street violence, and the emotional chaos. Today, we're breaking it all down with clarity and courage. And later on in the show, we'll be joined by a powerful guest, Brendan Green, founder of Star Force HH, a man whose personal journey speaks to identity, resilience, and the new American mindsets. Let's get into it. Okay. So let's start with 50 Cent. He has this new docu-series on Netflix called The Reckoning. And even the title tells you everything. A reckoning means judgment. A reckoning means truth is coming out. A reckoning means accountability is on the table. 50 said on Good Morning America interview that this isn't about hatred. Now, Fifth, I don't know. It's about transparency. He said for decades, people were afraid to speak out. And that's true. He said, if it was anybody else, they'd be already done. What do you think? If this was somebody else, what would they be? Right? I think they would be done too, anybody else. But that's not entertainment talk. That's investigative journalism. That's calling out a system that's protected power at all costs. When you change the spelling of a title like Reckoning, you're sending a message. You're saying it's deeper than a documentary. This is the end of an era. Okay? So what do you think? Where are you going with this? But Diddy responded, because now we know that 50 Cent dated 50 Cent's mother of his child. I don't know. The mother of 50 Cent's child was in the Diddy trial. Okay. So she was one of Diddy's so-called sex slaves. Okay. So she was involved in everything that was going on. So we're all thinking that 50 may have been that mad where he's like, you mess with my baby mom, I'm going to go ahead and mess with your money, and I'm going to put the nail in the coffin. But everybody is not with that, though. That's the part that we got to understand. There's people like Dame Dash popping out and saying, a man like 50, you always got to watch somebody like him that would try to kick a man while he's down. You got Ja Rule, his arch nemesis for life, right? He's out there, he's saying, listen, I told you he was a snitch. So it's not going as well, I'm assuming, as 50 would have thought, because this is kind of late in the game. He's already in jail. He's already got his time going, and it's kind of like, let this go. That's how we all feel. Let the man do his time and come home. He's been through enough. But not 50 Cent. So Diddy responded, right? And he said, he released a series of statements trying to reframe the narrative. He talked about his legacy, his contributions, his compassion, and right up in the middle of all this, the reports came out that he bankrolled the Thanksgiving meals at Fort Dix. Well, we heard about the Fort Dix bankrolling the Thanksgiving before that, but the federal at Fort Dix. So we did hear about that before. Now, listen. Two things can be true. A man can give back, and a man can still be accountable. But timing matters. Giving back during the scandal doesn't look like compassion. It looks like crisis management. Charity with the camera is PR, or charity in silence is compassion. Which one do you think? And right now, people are asking for truth, not turkey dinners. So Puffy, people are feeling some type of way about you. So now I thought I actually liked one of his posts about him giving out the turkey dinners, but then to think that I thought maybe that he didn't know that this was coming out, but now that I realize he did know that it's coming out, I don't know, is this truth, dare, or consequence, Diddy? Where we at with this? Sorry. Now you caught me off guard right here. Pause real quick, Ron. My battery is about. See. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, we're watching one of the largest fraud scandals in the nation's history. $1 billion in food relief money misused, diverted, and covered up. What? Governor Walz, who could have been Vice President Walz, and Representative Ilhan Omar, and a network of Somali nonprofits are at the center of government oversight failures. And let me be clear, diversity is not a shield against accountability. We can love our communities and still demand responsibility from our leaders. So now what is happening over there, Governor Walz? So apparently, a lot of Somalians have taken some extra money. I think it's to the tune of $1 billion, and it's making the Somalian community and Representative Ilhan Omar of Somalia look really bad, because now she was talking in her language. I'm not sure what language she was speaking, but she was saying a whole bunch of stuff, and she was letting them know, like, look, you making us all look bad. We came here to build up. And I'm hearing that, and this has been rumored for a long time, that she married her brother to get into the country. Now, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if that is true or not, but President Trump said, look, if she married her brother to get in the country, then she needs to have her citizenship revoked. But the crazy part is that we have people like this in America as is, right? That's the crazy part about it, is that, not even that people in America, but people in Congress that have sketchy ways of their citizenship. Like, that's crazy. But anyhow, on the streets, a birthday party turned into a massacre. 4 people killed when a gang sprayed a home with bullets. Families destroyed, communities traumatized. We're normalizing funerals, people. We've normalized trauma. And we talked about this on the group on Sunday, how this is what creates the killer. When young kids like this see somebody come to their birthday party and shoot up their birthday party, I hope they didn't shoot the birthday kid, right? Think about the birthday kid, and they come to shoot the birthday kid, and all the friends are at the party, and then they come shoot the little babies up, and my friends got killed at my 4th birthday party, or whatever, however old it is. They're gonna, be sick in the head for years on end. Okay. And until we address hopelessness, economics, and opportunity, this cycle will keep repeating itself. And until we address this pain that these young kids are going through and everything, we're going to have a problem. Okay. Next up, and we have this tragedy. A woman boarded a plane, flew across the country, and murdered another woman over a man. What? Where they do that at? She was sentenced to life in prison today, and this is not passion. This is pathology. This is identity starvation. People with no sense of self, living through obsession, not purpose. And our culture has to stop glamorizing emotional chaos. So when I see Krishan Rock and when I see Blueface, playing games and, and cheating on each other every day, and everybody kind of, just being with each other and having no accountability for their relationships and no accountability for, how, people are spending their time or how people are treating their significant other, and forgetting that love is a deadly thing. And here we see this in the flesh. When I see that, I really start to think about it. And I think that what we all need to think about is when you're cheating on someone, you need to think about that other person and how crazy that other person can get. Now, Blueface, he's up to his old antics now because Adam 22, and now I believe Adam 22 from No Jumper, Adam 22 has offered his wife up to Blueface to have an encounter with a taped encounter from Blueface, and they're supposed to be getting on tape, and Blueface accepted it. And this is just wild, wacky, and stuff that we just don't need right now. But this is where we are in America, and this is the new American perspective. We have one last topic to talk about, and our friend Congressman Hakeem Jeffries is always up to something. Now, we know that he's was in the Epstein files from his uh, fundraising team reaching out to Epstein for money. And then we have another congresswoman who actually accepted money from them, both Democrats, and they're saying, oh, that didn't mean anything, that we was trying to get money from Epstein when everything was Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. So now they've got something called impeach Trump again. So they want to go after Trump again. In the time since the second inauguration, Trump has carried out an assault on the rule of law, on the checks and balances of power between our co-equal branches of government and the United States Constitution. Donald Trump is disqualified from the presidency. They disqualifying presidents out here. And now he is committing multiple abuses of power in violation of clear constitutional commands and at the expense of our democratic institutions, constitutional president, and the health and safety of all of our people, especially the most vulnerable. Congress must take action and demand accountability. Trump is not a monarch. He is beholden to the Constitution, as is the Congress. And as the founders understood, if we are to preserve our democracy for the people, then Congress has a duty to investigate, impeach, and remove corrupt. Congress must fulfill its duty. Free speech for the people is calling on Congress immediately to impeach and remove Donald Trump for offenses that he has carried out against the people, the institutions, and branches of our government. So now, my question to you is, does Trump deserve to be impeached already? He's been in uh, a full year almost. We're going into 2026, 30 days till 2026. People, what's up? Do you want to impeach this man again? January 6th coming up. So let's have a poll on it. So put it in the comments on what you think and what you feel.